morning and welcome to After GMS. I'm Sydney Moore here with our meteorologist Ed Matthews and our other meteorologist Christian Morgan.
Yeah, I'm the other one.
In a good way, meaning they're both here with me today. Well, we have a lot to talk about here on After GMS, but Christian, we're going to start with the weather because it's going to feel good this week. I'm talking about a great warm up, but today, we got to get through today because it's going to be in the 50s.
Yeah, you know, I've coined this week as North Carolina weather, the trip through the decades. Because we have 50s today, 60s tomorrow, 70s Thursday, 80s again by the weekend. So it's just a continual warm up. Take a look at some of these rainfall totals, though, from yesterday. What a soaker of a day it was. Over 2 inches down in Asheboro, over 1.5 inches in most of the triad places, Greensboro, Winston, and Lexington, all checking in with over 1.5 inches of rain. That puts us at a little over 2 inches for the month so far, which is pretty much right on cue here. And for the year, we're just shy of 15 inches, which actually is close to 3 inches above our normal rainfall for this time of the year. So we're doing just fine in the rain department right now. And of course, you would have thought that all of that rain would have helped the pollen. Yeah, no, it did not. It's just that time of the year. Hard to get rid of the pollen as tree pollen is peaking now. We also have low levels of grass pollen and weed pollen. Tree pollen starts to get better, though, over the next couple weeks as there's a lot of things that have bloomed already across the triad. Beautiful sunrise this morning. Of course, hardly a cloud in the sky right now. Temperatures, though, still chilly. Don't let that sunshine fool you. Upper 30s and low 40s across the board this morning as high pressure builds in behind that low pressure system moving away from us. Those big differences are what create our wind. We're getting a north and northwesterly wind on the backside of that low pressure system, so it's a cooler wind, which helps to keep us cooler today. It'll still be a bit breezy at times today, too, with some gusts around 25 miles per hour. By tonight and tomorrow, that high becomes a little more centered overhead, so the winds relax. It'll be hard to find a cloud in the sky tomorrow, and that'll help us chill down tonight into the mid-30s, maybe even some folks near freezing by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Later in the week, that high shifts offshore and we allow another cold front to head our way for Thursday, but this one really runs out of steam and runs out of moisture. It really won't bring any rain, doesn't bring any cooler temperatures. You'll just notice some extra clouds likely as we go throughout your day on Thursday. For today, it's all sunshine all the time, upper 50s for afternoon highs with that wind from time to time. And then overnight, we drop back under a clear sky to the mid-30s for most of us, if not some areas near freezing along the North Carolina-Virginia border and up in the foothills and up into the mountains as well. So we do have frost advisories in effect for our entire area, even some freeze warnings for our northern counties. That would be Rockingham County, Stokes County, Surrey County, Yadkin County, and Wilkes County as well. So make sure you protect those sensitive plants or bring them inside overnight. Cold weather just doesn't seem to be done with us just yet. Although take a look at that staircase 7-day forecast. 50s today. Mid-60s tomorrow afternoon after a cold start for your Wednesday and some morning frost, and then we're into the low 70s Thursday, 80 Friday, and low 80s over the weekend. That's Ed Matthews kind of weather.
It definitely is. I can't wait.
Well, Christian and Ed, spring hasn't been here that long,
No.
but some are already counting down to the summer season. Many people, especially high school and college students, take that time to pick up some extra cash. Well, today we want to know, what job would you want for the summer? Maybe you'd work with animals or maybe even with kids at a daycare. Well, let us know in the comments. In the meantime, if you really love the Outer Banks, and we aren't talking about the Netflix show, this opportunity may appeal to you. Cape Hatteras National Seashore is looking for a volunteer lighthouse keeper. The job includes working with tourists, key attractions on Ocracoke Island, and representing the National Park Service at community events. The position would last from May 1st to September 30th. And here's the perk: you'd get free housing on the island of Ocracoke in exchange for 32 hours a week of service. So some of you are already sharing your thoughts on this opportunity. Elias says she is on the way. Robin Beck says, when do I pack? Meredith says, Ocracoke Island has some of the biggest mosquitoes I have ever seen in my life. Oh, I don't know if they'll see Sydney then. That's a hard pass. Vicky says, wish I were able to. Seriously. Stephanie says, I would do this. I would be able to catch up on some books. So back to our question. What is your ideal summer job? And Ed, I'd like to start with you.
Let's start with Ed.
All right.
All right.
It would have to be something outdoors. I'm kind of thinking light, and I want to make this clear, light yard work. But I think working outdoors, doing landscaping, mowing the yard, I did a ton of that growing up. Anything outdoors where you can breathe the fresh air, and when you have a rainy day, usually landscapers have the day off.
That's right.
And so it kind of works both ways. But I think that would be kind of a cool thing to do.
Very
Call me
nice.
crazy. I think there's something a little therapeutic about mowing the yard.
Well, I love the smell
Ooh.
of fresh cut grass.
Why is it therapeutic for you? Why do you say?
Oh, I don't know. You just like to get out there and you can kind of turn your brain off from the rest of the world. You're focused on the yard work and spend some time outdoors.
And you know what I like to do?
Competing with the neighbors to see who has the best
This
yard.
is a self-fulfilling thing, but when I used to mow the yard at home and we had it seemed like acres and acres, you get through doing the yard work and then you kind of stand back and say,
Hey.
looks pretty good.
Hire me to mow your lawn.
I'm good at this, aren't I?
I'm pretty good at mowing the yard.
Not too bad.
I can see Ed now. Man, look at those stripes in the yard right there.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting. I was at home this past week in Sanford. Boy, and I was telling Christian about this. My mom put me to work planting flowers. And it was a lot of work, and boy, the next morning I was so sore. But when I got finished, I did the, wow, these look pretty good.
All right.
I can't wait to see them when I go back home and they've grown a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Christian, what about you?
So I had an odd job. I had an odd summer job when I was in high school and college. I used to paint fire hydrants for the city of Asheboro.
That is so
The best looking
I
fire
can
hydrants
literally
in the
picture
state.
you doing that, Christian. I literally could.
Award-winning hydrants.
They were. You've never seen such.
On a billboard.
Were they
Listen,
traditional
holding a fire
red?
hydrant.
They were red and white. And
Red-
the
oh, yeah.
last one I ever painted is on Elm Street in Asheboro.
Oh, Lord.
and
we got to go see
and
that.
I painted my initials on it too.
I love that, Christian.
I don't know if it was an ideal summer job.
Okay.
It was a good one. I don't know why. There's nothing special about this, I don't think, but when I was a kid, I for some reason always wanted to in the summer scoop ice cream at an ice cream parlor. And I don't mean like a chain Dairy Queen milkshake place. I mean like a mom and pop family owned ice cream parlor that still makes the banana splits the old fashioned way. You know, it has that waffle cone smell when you walk in.
I do that, I'll go.
I don't know why. I just always wanted to do
think
that.
That's great, and it smells so good.
Yes.
in
It
there.
does smell so
It smells,
good.
and I think it comes from the waffle cones. I love those waffle cones. It's so good.
What would you name it?
What would I
What
name
would be
it?
the name of the business?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
I
haven't
was-
thought
I
that
did
far.
put you
I
on
just
the
wanted to work
spot.
for
I'm
somebody.
sorry.
Christian's
You just have a
scoop.
Christian, you're so creative, Christian. So I know it would be a great one.
Christian's big scoop. That's what I'd want, a big scoop.
3 scoops.
Three
Well-
scoops.
What about you, Sydney?
My ideal would be working at the aquarium.
Yeah.
I think just being able to be with the animals, you talk about therapeutic. I
Yeah.
feel like just being able to step away, especially for something that I wouldn't normally try to do, but to be able to do it for the summer, I just feel like would be a great opportunity. And then seeing all the little kids, because I love kids, and just seeing them and playing with them and helping them touch the dolphins and stuff would be pretty fun,
Yeah,
right?
not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not too bad. Well, you all are talking about this. So LeVar says, working somewhere in the tropics as a tour guide. Okay. Bobby says, lifeguard. I love being around the water. That's my second one, actually. That's my second one.
So funny, when I got the job as fire hydrant painter.
Fire hydrant engineer.
At that time, the technical name was water technician. But when I got that job, I was actually offered a position as a lifeguard.
Nice.
They said, "How about being a lifeguard?" And I was like, "I don't know if you want me."
I'd
doing
like to
that or
think
not."
I can swim, but I don't want to test it.
And so
if
I-
someone
A
needs
lot of
help.
responsibility there.
Yeah.
I turned that down. Then I got offered the painter job.
Let's see. Rhonda says, I would be a beach chair tester. It absolutely has to be done at the beach. I've never heard of a beach chair tester. Have y'all heard of a beach chair tester?
No, but
said
it sounds
that?
like fun.
Rhonda, you have to explain it to us. We'll have to come back to that because I would like to know what that is. Let's see. Isaac says, I will be working at Outback Steakhouse for this summer job.
I like that.
Very nice. Bobby mentioned and talked about the lawnmower. He says he loves mowing the grass.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. but it must be on a riding lawnmower.
Got that right.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
I agree, Bobby.
Give me a zero turn. Let me cut circles out there. We'll be good.
Casey said aquarium. That is super. So a lot of fun, wonderful summer jobs to get you out of your normal element.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if I was doing something, purposeful and
Right.
I think working in, I don't know, it's such a crazy place now, but I always thought that maybe working in DC, for like maybe being a White House page or something would be.
That would be fun.
Yeah. I think I'm past the point of being able to do that now.
No, I like that one. That would be fun. Well, we have another topic to get to, so we are going to get some to our morning headlines. A federal judge in Florida has overturned the CDC's mask mandate on airplanes and public transportation, ruling the agency exceeded its authority. The Biden administration says it won't enforce the mandate while it reviews the court ruling. The TSA had extended the mask mandate for another couple weeks before the judge's decision. And Greensboro Police Chief says he is retiring. Chief Brian James has been in charge the last 2 years. He announced he's stepping down yesterday. His last day is May 31st. The city will use a recruiting firm to find the next police chief. Teresa Biffle will serve as an interim police chief during the search. She has 27 years of experience with the department. And just 1 hour of your time, it can go a long way. It's National Volunteer Week, and you can donate just 60 minutes to make a difference in the lives of Guilford County families fighting to make ends meet during record high inflation. WFMY News 2's Denise McMiller is in Greensboro with how you can use your talents and time to help.
This is your chance to do something good for others. The United Way of Greensboro has partnered with organizations throughout the Triad to promote National Volunteer Week. You can make a difference and have a positive impact on the community at places like the Habitat for Humanity Restore here on Gate City Boulevard. All day starting at 8 a.m., folks can stop in to donate their time or even their items to the Restore. Everything donated is resold. Profits are used to build hope in homes for low-income families. And over on Alliance Drive, Backpack Beginnings has a variety of ways folks can get involved throughout the week, from sorting food donations to putting together book kits. Brent Holmes says he plans to make time every day this week to give back to the nonprofit.
I love the people interaction, and so that fills that void for me. So I can come out and you meet diverse people. That's a satisfaction. I think that I am making a difference in a couple people's lives, and I think that's what it's about.
More than 17,000 kids received assistance from Backpack Beginnings last year. The nonprofit says with inflation, the need for assistance in Guilford County is growing.
People are calling in. We got a call one time from a social worker at a school where the family had boiled noodles the night before and they didn't know what they were going to eat the next day. And so we were able to pull together and fill their pantry on that last minute urgent need.
And there are a host of other organizations looking for folks to donate their time. Head over to WFMYnews2.com to find out more about available opportunities.
All right, good stuff there. It's National Hangout Day. From parks to bars and wineries and the many restaurants around the Triad, there are just so many spots that make great hangout spots. And right now we want to know, where's your favorite place to hang out and with who? So I know you guys have been a lot of places around the Triad, and I know one of yours is Union Coffee.
Shout out.
Oh, there you go. The secret is out.
The secret is out. So what's you all's favorite hangout spot in the Triad?
Well, I love hanging out in downtown Greensboro, and more specifically Center City Park, but I just like to walk around, bump into a lot of our viewers, and have an opportunity to say hello and speak with them. Now, who would I hang out with? I normally hang out with my little doggy Rio. So we hang out downtown, but it's a good meeting place for friends. Since I live downtown, friends will come over to my place, park in my parking area, and we'll walk to Elm Street, and it's just a lot of fun. Greensboro has come such a long way in the 33 years that I've been living here. It is truly now a destination.
And since I've grown up in this area all my life. I'm from Asheboro, and really ever since I graduated from college and have been working in Greensboro, over the last, 8 to 10 years, I mean, the change in downtown is really substantial.
Wow.
There's been a lot of investment in downtown and growing and kind of rebranding and all of that. You kind of see that coming to life right now. So you make a great point about that.
Yeah, really nice.
I would say just downtown Greensboro, just like that. I know it's a pretty broad answer, but just being able to walk around and enjoy it might not be too broad because that is a place in the area, downtown Greensboro.
Oh, yeah,
but being able
absolutely.
to just see the people and walking around, going into the different shops, sitting down there on a bench, finding one, maybe getting you a nice little slushie or smoothie or something.
Yeah.
Watching the dogs walk across the park is therapeutic to me.
Yeah.
And I'll have to say hats off to our civic leaders here in Greensboro and Guilford County. There's been a lot of hard work over the years to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And I think there are many more great things to come to downtown Greensboro. The Tanger Center is just one of
That's
them.
been huge.
The ball field. There's just so many things, and it's just going to keep getting better and better.
Yeah. You can find me at the golf course a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. No shame in your game there, Christian.
No shame.
And this week will be great for you to be out there and play.
Yeah,
too,
it will.
so
It
very
will.
nice.
Come Wednesday and Thursday.
Well, LeVar says the beach, of course. And then he says, I love the Outer Banks. Very nice. Let's see here. Joanne says, in my recliner in my family room. That's her hangout spot. LeVar says, the Triad downtown. I love downtown. And that's what we have right now. Oh, Bobby says, I love hanging out in downtown Greensboro. So a lot of people love downtown Greensboro.
Okay, I got a story here. Yes, Bobby does, because me and my dog Rio, and this was a couple of months ago, walking down Elm Street, and I had never met Bobby before, Bobby Odom, one of our great contributors here on our feed, Ed Matthews, how are you doing? And he introduced himself, and I said, oh, how cool.
See him in person, I know.
That's what I'm talking about, is getting out. We look at these cameras every day. That kind of gets boring, to be honest with you. But when we can get out and we can meet our viewing audience in person, it's really great. And Bobby Odom was one of those that I met in downtown. We sat there on a park bench and chatted for a long time. And I said, I better let you go. I'm taking up your day. But it was a lot of fun, Bobby.
And I'd just like to add with downtown Greensboro, I think being able to see so many music groups also downtown and dancing groups and singing groups performing in downtown Greensboro is just a great time for people to come together and enjoy that type of entertainment.
Yeah, it really is. A lot of people mentioned some other places, not necessarily in Greensboro and the Triad specific. A lot of people love to go to the beaches. We talked about how great of a center pretty much of the universe of North Carolina that we are. We have the mountains 2 hours to our west. We have the beaches 3 hours to our to our east. And it's just a really good spot.
Is there any other place to live other than North Carolina? If there is, I haven't found it.
And honestly,
Right
if we're going out on that limb, like you guys know where you can find me if I'm not at the golf course or at the coffee shop.
Boone.
Oh, I love it.
He loves it. It's beautiful up there. I agree with you.
Diane says, I would like to hang out with my friend and ride around on his bike. Sharia says, any park and near the sun. And LeVar says the Science Center is fun also. I got a chance to go by the Science Center, and it was definitely fun sight to see.
It's fun. They've done a good job over there. A lot of new exhibits too.
And while we're talking about hanging out, this week is a great time to do that with the weather.
I thought you were going to ask us if we wanted to hang out.
That too.
You want to hang out?
We could go get ice cream and hang out.
Well, let's see. We can go to Boone and hang out.
We have so many
can go to
options.
the beach and hang out. We can hang out in downtown Greensboro. We can just do a lot of hanging this week. Why? Because the weather is going to be nice. And how often do we see a 7-day that doesn't have a chance of rain in it? Now, I hope I don't jinx this, because after all the rain that we had yesterday, boy, it's great that we're going to dry things out and warm it up. Now, it's going to be a little cool today with the upper 50s, a little breezy, and that'll add to the chill. Take care of the plants tonight. I'm praying for the strawberry blooms. I don't want anything to happen to those. We got to have strawberries. But we're going to have some frost and likely some temperatures right around freezing along the Virginia border, especially that overnight tonight and early tomorrow. But during the day on Wednesday, we start the really nice warm-up. Mid-60s tomorrow. We're up about 73 on Thursday, 80 on Friday. Where will you find Ed over the weekend? Well, part of the weekend I'll be here, but the other part of the weekend, yeah, I'll be strolling in downtown Greensboro with those low 80s.
And just like Bobby, somebody might run into you again. You have
might. You
another
just
great
never know.
conversation.
Love bumping into our viewers. It's a lot of fun to chat.
Find Ed on a park bench this weekend.
Yeah,
Love
chatting
it.
away.
I love
Doing my
it.
favorite thing, chatting.
Well, thank you so much for watching After GMS, and we'll see you back right here tomorrow for the Good Morning Show.
See you then.